We're going to talk about check swings. What the current experiment is with check swings down in some minor leagues, and how we should be calling check swings in amateur baseball, Legion baseball, and high school baseball. We want to track the pitch. If it's a ball and he didn't go, we say ball, no, he didn't go. And then with an open left hand, we point to our partner. And our partner says, yes, he did, or no, he didn't. Now, in this instance, in minor league baseball, he said, yes, he did, and the batter disagreed. So then on the scoreboard, they're going to show a screen of a simulation that looks just like this. And if the bat goes at a 45-degree angle along that dotted line, it's considered to be a strike or a swing. Here's a visual aid to understand at greater detail. On the left is a right-handed batter's swing path that is required to be declared a swing or a no swing. You can see the 45-degree angle. And then on the right-hand side is a left-handed batter. These are not guidelines that we are following in town ball, Legion baseball, or the high school league. Now we have an instance relative to what we do. Ball, no, he didn't go. Hey, ask. Hey, did he go? The umpire, base umpire, said yes, he did. So the plate guy bangs at a strike. And now we're having issues in the dugout. Batter is super confused. So let's go to the official baseball rules for some education. We're going to go to Rule 8.02C, comment. A manager is permitted to ask the umpires for an explanation of the play when the umpires have exercised their discretion to change or eliminate the results and consequences of an earlier call that the umpires are reversing. We said ball, no, he didn't go. But now we're saying, wait, yes, he did. Once the umpires explain the result of the play, however, no one is permitted to argue that the umpires should have exercised their discretion in a different manner. The manager or the catcher may request the plate umpire to ask his partner for help on a half swing. That is the rulebook terminology, half swing, when the plate umpire calls the pitch a ball, but not when the pitch is called a strike. So this is an instance when we can change the ruling on the field. The rule continues, as appeals on a half swing may be made only on the call of a ball and when asked to appeal. The home plate umpire must refer to a base umpire for his judgment on the half swing. Should the base umpire call the pitch a strike, the strike shall prevail. Appeals on a half swing must be made before the next pitch or any play or attempted play. If the half swing occurs during a play which ends a half inning, the appeal must be made before all infielders and the defensive team leave fair territory. The ball is in play on an appeal on a half swing. On a half swing, if the manager comes out to argue, and this is an extreme situation, try to manage this, but if they continue to argue after you've changed it from a ball to a strike with first or the third base umpire, and after being warned, he persists in arguing, he can be ejected as he is now arguing over a called ball or strike. So we don't argue balls and strikes. And in this instance, it would also be a prolonged argument. Let's take a look at what this looks like. This is a perfect example of how this rule was enforced. The rulebook terminology for a strike is a half swing. Here's where things become prolonged and undesired from a management perspective. In these next few videos, pay attention to the plate umpire and see how he carries out the procedure of the check swing or half swing appeal process. Lastly, we have an example of our plate guy judging a half swing and then properly executing the mechanic. Notice the left hand pointing and the right hand calling a strike, and then an out with the tag.